Good morning, good morning, good morning, people. Early bird gets the worm. Now, what you're seeing here is something so crazy. You know, when it comes to Diddy news, we often don't report on it because a lot of it is garbage because of the way the media is right now with Diddy and how this social media platform rotates and work around Diddy. That it's always some nonsense, it's always some red tape. So people normally don't believe anything. Remember, they said he was drinking toilet water and toilet liquor and all this stuff. So you gotta take it with a grain of salt anytime you hear Diddy's name mentioned into something. You can't take it at face value. Now, when you start to look at what's actually happening in the situation, in said situation, you have to process it from a standpoint that makes sense. Sean Diddy Combs was scheduled to go to a halfway house in about less than 2 weeks. Less than 2 weeks from going to a halfway house, all of a sudden, Sean Diddy Combs is going to get in a fight at a prison when he's been on good behavior all this time. Make that make sense, people. No man that I know in the history of prisons would allow themselves to be put in a situation where they're going to be engaged in a physical altercation right before they're getting ready to go to a halfway house. It doesn't make sense. And the reason it doesn't make sense is an even simpler scenario. Is the fact that if you have somebody who is a, let's say, very active human being, right? And they have not been a problem. Normally, inmate don't get into these situations. They'll say, let me do the rest of my time in solitary. Because they know somebody might try me in here to do anything to try to fight me or and get me to engage in an incident. Now, Diddy won the engagement because Diddy ended up choking the guy. Yeah, they choked him out. So now that he got choked out, and everybody saw, like, wow, man, he got choked out. This is crazy. You know, it went this route. I can't believe it went this route. This is unbelievable. So people were like, oh, wow, Diddy, man, he don't play. Like, Diddy's a fighter. Like, physically putting hands on people. Man, woman, dog, child, it don't matter. He's an equal opportunity ass kicker. Now, the thing about Diddy is that he's never been in a situation. He had to hold himself back for taking off on people. Diddy then took off on assistants, people that work for him, dudes, everything. Diddy almost broke his wrist because he punched a guy over this aqua hydrate business thing he had. He had a water company called Aqua Hydrate. If you guys can remember Aqua Hydrate. And Diddy took off. Boom! Hit the dude that worked for Aqua Hydrate. They settled it, but Diddy cracked him right in his face. And then they had to settle up with the dude. There's no charges or nothing, but Diddy don't he don't take BS too well. You know what I'm saying? So you're not gonna get that. Yeah, he been stalking them all week. You see, the thing is, they're gonna review the incident, and I'm quite sure they threw him in there just so he could serve the rest of his time. He'll still go to his halfway house. There's no way a prison gonna believe Diddy finna start a fight at FCI Fort Dix. Now, they put him in solitary confinement for the rest of his term because this should have been done anyway. Somebody got to this guy and said, hey, we'll get you a bag. Make sure you fight Diddy so we can keep him in jail. The guy came up with verbal insults to Diddy just out the blue. Then some pushing and shoving. Then they tried to throw punches. Diddy grabbed the guy, put him in a chokehold till the prisoners got over there. Till the prison guards came. Yeah, they got to review it. So each guy has been put into solitary. The whole. So they're in solitary confinement while they try to figure out what's going on. Well, they're going to check for disciplinary actions. Most people don't get nor understand the situation at hand. They see it as a possible situation of a scandal, celebrity news, or whatever they want to call it, right? They don't look at it for what is actually like details, Well, he's supposed to get out in 2028 anyway. But all of the good credits he had earned and built up, once people heard Diddy is about to get out, people started going, oh no, we got to keep him in jail, and come up with a way to try to sabotage everything he's doing. No, Diddy never took any jokes. Oh, of course he is. Of course he is. You know why he is saying these things and moving in a way that he's moving? Is because Sean Diddy Combs was out here getting things done. My thing is this, dog. It's like you can't tell somebody how to tell their story, man. It's like, look, Gene Deal gonna be Gene Deal, man. That's just all to it. He gonna continuously talk about Diddy every day of the week. So anybody crying about it now, it's just like, look, the man gonna continue to do it. It's like, okay, we get it. You don't like Diddy, okay? We get it. But my thing is this: all the things you keep saying about this man, you was working for him. All the things he was doing, you were working for him. All this action that you didn't know to after the fact is nonsense. You knew what this man was about because the more stories you tell, it was like, man, you kept working for him. You kept working for him after that. You went back to working for him. You did this, then you went back to working for him. So it was like, okay, and then you haven't been around this man for like over 20 years. It's been about 20 years since you've been around this man. So in the past 20 years, you weren't there. So when they say, hey, Diddy did this, hey, man, I wasn't me. I wasn't there. But yet, you talk about all the stuff he did like he just started once you left. If he was doing all this stuff while you was there, why didn't you leave? You see what I'm saying? It's like, dog, leave. If something is happening, like if you say, hey, man, this dude was doing all this and X, Y, and Z with all these different people, man, I couldn't take it, man. I just left. And I ain't come back. Then it'd be like, okay, well, that makes sense. But from his own story, he didn't leave until the mother and him got into it. And he was just like, that's it, I'm out. When Diddy's mom and him got into it, it had nothing to do with anything else. Other than that, he'd still probably be working with him. I'm not saying Gene isn't a good dude, man. Some of the stories he tells is, it's I won't say wrong. It's got some missing details that's incorrect. I tried to help perfect his story. And then, of course, it always goes back to what I don't know, who he know, and you don't know this, you don't know that. I actually met this man. You've never met this man. I'm like, no, but I met the man who met that man. I know the man that was there that night. I know the guy who was in the studio. I know the guy who was like, I know some people too, dog. I don't just bring this stuff up. I don't talk about it because it's like, dude, it's 3 incidents you're going to talk about forever, right? The Quad City shooting, Tupac, and then Biggie. Those are 2-3 nights I'm going to hear about when I'm listening to Gene. It's going to be that night, Quad City, and Tupac thing, which he got nothing to do with. He knows Puff ain't got nothing to do with any of it. And that's my whole thing. If you know a person ain't got something to do with any of it, what are you doing? Like I would never in my life, with Gilbert Arenas, right? I'm not gonna say, man, the murder took place, but I don't like Gil, so I'm gonna say, well, Gilbert Arenas' house was close, within 23 miles of this murder. What does that have to do with anything? I don't know, but Gilbert Arenas' house was 23 miles away from the murder. I'm just saying, don't rule him out as a suspect. Right. It's like, well, what does he do? What evidence or proof do we have to say it's him? You see what I'm saying? I could never do that. I could never, ever put something on someone or insinuate to make it look like they did it. If I know they didn't do a crime. You see what I'm saying? That kind of stuff blows my mind. People can honestly sit there and do stuff like that. I didn't know for years, dog. I mean years. I had no idea that what great lengths people would go for fame, stardom, the whole nine. I'm gonna tell y'all something nobody ever, like, I'd never said nothing about it. And this is about 6 years ago. Where is it? Like right after the pandemic, because we were still wearing masks. We were in the casino, and one guy that watches my channel watches another girl. He wanted me to go after her. And he's like, hey, that's Casino, man. I'll be watching you at the casino and stuff. And he was telling me about a girl that I guess she said some crazy stuff. She ended up getting banned off YouTube, I think. But he was like, yeah, you got to go get her. You got to go after her. And I'm like, who's he talking about? I don't even know this person. I was like, I don't really know her or that kind of work because she just be saying crazy stuff. I don't know this woman, but I guess she had a real big following on YouTube. And she's just known for saying some crazy stuff. And I'm like, yeah. Then he was like, you know who else is out there doing this craziness? I was like, well, who? He was like, Gene Deal. Gene Deal is out here talking about, because he's like, you know, we wanted to get you on the podcast, brother. So we was like, let's get Gene on the podcast. And I was like, for real? Y'all weren't gonna get Gene on the podcast? He was like, yeah, man, we wanted to get Gene out here, man. We want to find out what's going on, man, why you and Sino can't get along. And he was like, I don't want to talk about that guy. And if I come on and do the appearance, y'all got to pay me for this and this. And he was talking about popping up on a stream, like taking the link. He was like, no, we're not flying you in. We talking about an appearance. Yeah, but see, I can't be seen right now on no other platform but Wisdom Clear or something like that. Yeah, I can't because I got a deal that I got in place with them. But if y'all pay me something under the table, we could like record it. And then, but I can't do it unless I charge y'all this much. It was crazy. So I guess the dude was like, nah, man, like, well, forget it. And he was just like, man, you know, dude's just doing this for money. Yeah. So that's what he was saying. Dude was in it for the money. And this was like 6 years ago, I think. He was like, this dude is in it for some money. And we was at the casino. And I was like, all right, bro, thanks, man. Yeah, I don't know what that female, she was real popular on YouTube. If you think of a female who's on YouTube saying the most outlandish things as a female, a black woman, and she ended up getting, I think, banned from YouTube and got barred. But she was quite outlandish. I can't think of her name, but if y'all remember her name, y'all better than me. Well, that's on him. He got mad. Netflix didn't pay him the money. I mean, what would they pay you for? You didn't give them everything for free. You know, this is why you get an agent and a manager, because you can't negotiate anything. Let them do the negotiations and all the stuff like that. That you know, this is not your wheelhouse. You trying to do homeboy deals and handshake and brown paper bag. You know, this is contracts, deals, signings for you to say salacious things about somebody that you know isn't true. You know, I've been offered plenty of those bags. The R. Kelly documentary. Who you think they wanted? Me. They saw my video on YouTube and was like, wow. That's how they went and got the girl. They didn't even remember the first lawsuit. They remember, they didn't know anything about that. They was like, wow, they remember the R. Kelly case. They didn't know anything about Tiffany Hawkins until they saw my video and said, oh my God, there was the girl before that. This was the first girl. Oh my God, she won the case. They settled. R. Kelly settled the case with her. This was before. Oh my God. How did they not bring this up? So they called me and wanted to fly me out to New York, the whole nine. And they wanted to know about Jay-Z. And I said, nah, I'm good. I had them talk to my lawyer because I'm like, you can't tell me what it's about, but you'll tell me once I arrive in New York City. But legally, you can't tell me what it's about. But you're telling me has something to do with two videos I've made, one about Jay-Z and one about R. Kelly. And you're curious to know about some of the details in those videos. He said, Caramel Kitten. Caramel Kitten. I don't know if that's her name. I don't know who that is. But no, they wanted to interview me, not use my footage for the documentary. They wanted me to tell my stories about R. Kelly in that situation. Because I knew three girls. I knew about three girls he was with. Tiffany Hawkins lived on my block. She stayed down the street from me. So I was one of the people she entrusted with the information that she was dating R. Kelly. Well, I'll take that back. Not dating, working with R. Kelly. And people was like, yeah, right. Like, nobody's going to buy that. This is a teenage girl. And I'm the only one that didn't judge her. Like, this man, they was like, get out of here. Not working with any R. Kelly. So she told me, like, at night, because I didn't even give a reaction. But I didn't believe her either. I just didn't say anything. And she was like, you're the only one that didn't, didn't believe me and everything. And, here's the tape. She had a tape with like some songs she was recording. And she was like, yeah, this is a song we're working on. And she started singing. I'm like, she's like a 13, 14-year-old girl. I liked her older sister, Tanya. I liked her. My boy Drew liked her for some reason. Like, she had a jerry curl. She was like athletic, tall, like long, but like she's a kid. Like, we all kids, but not like that. Tiffany is younger than me. So her older sister is who I used to like. Because her sister was, I believe, older than me. And her older sister wasn't hanging out with R. Kelly then. Her younger sister was hanging out with them. And her friends, she would take her group of friends who used to run away from their crib and sneak out because their parents be working at night. And yeah, they be like working at night and trying to stay out late and hang because the mama had to work nights. So it'd be her and her sister. So they'd go run over there and hang out over at their house. So she can go hang out in the street with the bad boys. So she was like, hey, well, come on and hang out. We're going to R. Kelly's. And I didn't believe her at all that day. She was talking about all these songs. And then she said, he finna send a limo to pick me up. I'm like, yeah, right. Nobody gonna fit. Who's finna send a limo to pick up a girl? So I was like, all right. Saw her. She went to the crib. I was at my house, and they stayed near the corner. So sure enough, it was late at night. I'm like looking. I'm like, wait a minute. I see her come out her house and come out like through the back way. She go up and she sneaked right into the limo. I said, oh my God. She got in the back seat of the limo and the limo drove off. I said, oh my God. She was telling the truth. I was like, I don't know if that's R. Kelly, but I know that's a damn limo. That was a damn limo. And she just got in the back seat of that damn thing. She snuck out and got right into the back seat of that car. As they drove off, I said, oh, wow. And see, her mother worked nights, just like her friends' moms. They worked nights. And they had no father around, so they just sneak out, do what they want to do. See, back then, there was no cell phones. So you had to call in. Mom be like, hey, call in. Let me know y'all all right. So they would just call in and just say, hey, Mom, I'm good. I'm all right. Yeah, I'm about to go to bed. They're not even at the house. And Mama, she was like, well, I called the house and you didn't answer. So they was, oh, I'm sorry, Mom. I did this and that. I was doing this. Yeah, but I'm about to go to bed. So they would just tell these lies to their mom and go back and do the things that they were doing. It was just weird because it was so many instances with R. Kelly that people just knew about. Some friend that I graduated with in high school, she used to date, like she was always dating older men. She dated the baseball coach at our school. Like I told you, all the kids seemed like it was dating teachers and stuff. It was crazy. But it was no problem then. But I think they caught on to Rick later. I think our gym teacher, who's the football coach, had a girl pregnant there. We had the baseball coach dating a girl there. He was a white guy, thought he was tough, and he was dating a black girl that was there. And sure enough, all these things start happening all at the same time. Yeah. And she ended up her and her friends end up getting invited out one night. They hanging out and they go to R. Kelly's house. And she tells the whole story with the towel and all this. And her friend asked him, I heard you're married to Aaliyah. And he just snapped. What? You the damn press now? Huh? You all in my business? And he came, he was like, we was chilling and everything was cool. And he come out butt naked in a robe. And they were like, oh, wait a minute. He was, ain't nothing jumping off, right? We just hanging out, right? All right, then. What's the problem? And it was like, oh my God. Well, we gonna go. We just he went way too fast. So yeah, she told this whole story years ago. I was like, man, I cannot believe this. And that was just like weird. I was telling her about the girl on my block, and that was years and years ago. Can't imagine where all these people are now. So when all the stuff, he beat the case and all that, they only put him in jail because they had all these files of him. They made him a target R. Kelly would not leave the country like he should have. When he first married Aaliyah, my uncle worked at Bennigan's. He was the manager there. R. Kelly and his manager is in Bennigan's arguing about him marrying Aaliyah, telling him how stupid he was for doing all this. Like, how stupid are you? They in Bennigan's restaurant in Rosemont, Illinois. That's how I knew he married Aaliyah and it was real. My uncle was the manager of that restaurant. It remembers the entire incident because his manager was berating him for marrying Aaliyah in Rosemont. So that's what I said. Everything that was happening with Kales, I was connected to, and just the information was coming in like a straight line. Yeah, he knew in Chicago was his safe ground. Once this was no longer his safe ground, he had to go. Like Miami protected him because they had pictures that was way worse during that trial. Had they been able to add all those other photos, he'd been found guilty. Like he had so many crazy photos, like and pictures and images that they had in the Miami raid. If they weren't able to say that was an illegal seizure and they had to get rid of that stuff, that was, oh my God, that was worse. Oh no, Aaliyah parents are delusional at this state. They put Aaliyah in. She was on Star Search. That was the first time we saw Aaliyah. She was in every contest in like Detroit. So as a little girl, since she was 5, they've been treating her as an adult since she was 7. Her parents. She was making all of the decisions. 7, 8, what she's gonna do, everything. At 7 years old, Aaliyah was that way. Boss. At 7. So she won a contest. Then she had won to a beauty pageant, and she won she was a runner-up in the beauty pageant. Then her uncle, who worked in the record business that they knew, was going to bring her up. She was going to be the new star, the manager. She was being groomed for this. So when she was on Star Search, she was already getting a record deal. They was getting her the exposure. She was in a beauty contest. Her brother would be her escort to take her places, and she was just like a princess everywhere she went. No, yeah, things just didn't go in that fashion they thought it was going to go. It went so far left. Yeah, so Kales is already a difficult individual to work with, but he's a genius when it comes to music. He's done so much for all these other artists' songs and make them a hit. Like Jeezy could tell you how he made that Go Getter song for him. They couldn't get a hook. R. Kelly came up with a hook in 2 seconds. Had the whole thing, what the song was gonna sound like, the whole nine. Yeah. What was that? Go Getter? I'm a go getter, go getter. Yeah. Why does he own R. Kelly Publishing? Because he's a music businessman. He probably got a lot of publishing that got something to do with R. Kelly. Because they probably got Aaliyah's publishing, and he probably went back and got some of R. Kelly's publishing that was on some of those records. But Kels had to sell a lot of his publishing. Like his biggest songs that he made, he sold his publishing to. Like when he sold I Believe I Could Fly, which is his biggest song. I know we don't listen to that no more. But man, I Believe I Could Fly by R. Kelly was the biggest thing he had ever made, crossing over to white people. And this when he was doing his religious song moments, his inspirational songs. Like, I'm the world's greatest. I'm that little bit of hope when your back's against the road. Hey, I made it. I'm the world's greatest. Yeah. When he started doing those songs and Step in the Name of Love and doing like grown up man songs instead of just, sex songs. Right, Boo and Gotti from Chicago, man. They was on the remix for Fiesta, and Jay-Z got on there, and that's when all hell broke loose. Because this is when they was talking about doing that album together. Because Fiesta had that was gonna be the coming out of Jadakiss. Jadakiss album was coming out. He was on R. Kelly's Fiesta. So they was gonna do a video, and he was like, "Well, the song wasn't taking off with Jada, so when they did the remix, Jay got himself put in there, and Jadakiss was removed. Wasn't on the remix. They redid the remix with Jay-Z, and they wanted to get that track out. And Jada didn't like how that went down. This is the second time. Like Jay-Z kept trying to erase Jadakiss and put his name on something. Because Jada had all the buzz. Everybody was like, oh, this is it. The coming of Jadakiss. He got his own album coming out. So Jada had all this buzz coming from his debut. I'm a bad man. Oh, I'll never forget that when he did the Shaft soundtrack. He said, let me work on this, John. I remember he told John Singleton, Shaft, is your Shaft gonna be based on the original Shaft? And he was like, low down, dirty shame. That's what he was thinking about as Shaft. He was like, oh no, that was Shame. He's like, no, the movie Shaft. He was, oh yeah. I call you back. I might have something. And he sent over the song. He created that song from scratch. Scratch. And just said, from watching the original Shaft, he just said, from the theme song, that's a bad man. And he just put it in the perspective of Shaft being just like, I'm a bad man that's trying to do some good in the world. Oh, I remember a public announcement, man. They was on, man, this is early in the days. Man, it was so early in the days. It was Channel Live. I don't even know if you remember Channel Live. And public announcement, and I don't know if they had R. Kelly with them or not at the time. They was finna get into a brawl at the hip hop concert. It was like, we got Channel Live, we got public announcement. And so and public announcement was getting into it with Channel Live. And once that happened, it took it to a whole new world. Yeah, that didn't go too well for them. It was brawl. No, public announcement was whooping some ass. And I was like, dude, these rappers, Channel Live was some like Bay Area rappers. I don't know what it was about, but they got into a brawl. Couldn't tell you how it started. No, man, they don't care. When a girl, it's like a girl who make it somewhere off her looks, right? Let's say your girl look pretty and she doing her thing, right? She young, she in her 20s. When she get 30 and 40, what do you have to fall back on? If you ain't get what you gotta get in the last 20 years, you know, it ain't gonna work. It's like you trying to dance in the strip club at 36. It's like, what are you doing? You 36. You still spinning on the pole at 36? What you doing? Because you can't be competing with these 20-year-olds. So you got to start making some decisions to make a move. He's like, they was from New York? Oh, okay. Yeah, well, they got into a brawl. I don't know what started it. Man, Diddy's prison thing? Man, no way. Diddy shouldn't even be in jail. What would they be locking Diddy up for? Think about it. Look, what is he going to jail for right now? If Diddy's in jail, T.I. should be right next to him. Hugh Hefner should have. Hugh Hefner. Okay? Hugh Hefner was a publicized man in prostitution. They famously promoted this man. He had a magazine about it. Oh, you like her? You want the girl on the cover? Bet. Let's do business. My swimsuit model, the swimsuit model thing was nothing but an audition. Like, oh, you like her? Her name is this. Call Hef. All we do is kick mad isms. Wake up in the morning smoking nothing but herb, smelling nothing but herb. Yo, all we do is kick mad isms. But this is what I be talking about, people, constantly, is the displacement of people's fears and ambitions. That they love to show you that. They love to send you a broken down black man. Oh, they love it. Nothing warms their heart more than seeing a black man broken. Absolutely, brother. Listen, I'm going to tell it to you like it is, because nobody else is probably going to tell it to you like this. When it comes to Diddy, nobody's saying Diddy is the greatest human being on the planet. Nobody is speaking like that. So when we're looking at everything in totality, we're saying to each other, hey, this isn't right. We know it isn't right. This is the situation at hand, and this is how we're dealing with it today. Anybody else who's around, sorry. But this is the narratives that we go by here. So hopefully, you don't feel offended by any of it. But if we're being realistic and they're being serious about it, Sean Diddy Combs and all of this is just another way of them trying to manufacture something that doesn't exist. So when you start trying to manufacture something that doesn't exist, this is what it looks like. Nobody out there cared, dog. Nine times out of 10, these people are not going to say, yeah, 9 times out of 10, they're not going to say what everybody else wants them to do or believe. They're not going to go down these panels. Like I told you, every time I met Diddy, I've been around Diddy a few times, but the time where I told you, the first time I met Diddy, I was at Floyd's house. He was there with F. Gary Gray and Floyd. They were talking business in the room. I wasn't even in that room, but I was going by. He looked up and saw me and was paranoid. I was like, yo, who that guy? Who is he? And he was like, no, he with me. He cool. He was my guy. Like Floyd can't remember my name, but he know me. I'm in his house. He know damn well why. So right away they know, like me and Floyd don't talk all the time, but when we see each other, he knows he knows. Like he knows I'm not somebody to bring him harm or nothing like that. Then about 10 minutes later, and it's like we've been knowing each other again. We right back peas in a pod. But it's gonna take that 10 minutes to get to know me again. Then he right back to, oh yeah, I remember you. That's my guy. Well, when people are going through something, you let them be. You try to, right, you try to like let them fight it. Like Diddy and what he's going through in jail, that was a setup. They try to act like setups don't happen in jail. They happen in jail all the time. Setups happen all the time in jail, mainly in jail. Yo, such and such is about to get out. We don't want him getting out. We want him in the hole. We want this guy out the way. Go over there and take his food. Snatch something off his plate. Get him to react. I was in jail, man. I wasn't gonna last. I wasn't gonna last there. I'd have been taken out because I don't know the rules. Because jail ain't someplace I'm supposed to be. And my thing is, I got comfortable too quick. Too quick. Like none of it. Like it was like, oh, okay, cool. I know the routine. I got comfortable real quick. Yeah, once you get comfortable being there real quick, it's a whole different experience. Oh yeah, 24 hours in the county? Man, it was more like 48 hours. The first day was crazy. We processed all day. By the time we got through processing, they couldn't even put us in the division we're supposed to be in. We had to spend the night in a holding cell. It was like a record number of people going in that day. So it took all day for processing. They give you an eye and vision test. You got to go see what they call the big doctor, where they stick the Q-tip all up in your penis. Yep. Yeah, you don't want to go there. They testing you for diseases and all that stuff. Yeah, you don't want no parts of that. That is not a good feeling or anything. So, all right, you got your ear and eye test. I'm just like, man, this is crazy. Now, this is in the 90s. I can imagine what's going on today. That was in the 90s. No, because it always comes down to somebody spending money, dog. When you want to look at it, it's gonna come down to the money. My thing is, when I got into jail, I had the Kobe crazy 8s, and you wear your shoes in prison. They take your clothes, but you get to keep your shoes. So they give you your outfit for you to wear, which is some thin ass cloth pajamas you basically wearing. Everybody wearing like pajamas. And we're walking around in there in these damn pajamas. And we're sitting there, as we're sitting there in our damn pajamas, you wearing your shoes. And I got on the crazy 8s by Kobe. The purple ones. They have never seen any shoes like that. And they had just came out. I had the black and white ones, and I had the purples. And I'm wearing the purple crazy 8s by Kobe. And they're like, oh, wow. And that was like a perfect shoe. It fits your foot perfectly. And I was like, man, these crazy 8s are something else. So I got on the Kobe's. I'm in the county. They looking at my shoes. They ain't looking at me. And they was like, who is this dude with these space shoes? And I'm not even understanding, because we got moved into housing and to our regular housing the next day. But before that, we're in a holding and the Bears are playing. The Chicago Bears are playing the Kansas City Chiefs. And this dude, I'm like, the Chiefs are going to win this game. And I was like, I'm a Bears fan, but I know the Chiefs are going to win this game. And then this dude bet him. He was like, man, the dude wanted to bet him. They was betting Jello shot. Bet your Jello. And I'm like, dude, I'm a Bears fan. I don't want to bet this dude. He was like, you with him. You co-signing. You bet with him. I was like, you only got one Jello. Man, I got a juice. I was like, all right, bet. We bet the juice. So I'm like, cool. Jello for the juice, no problem. Man, Chiefs won that game. We took. Oh man, come on, man, it's the Bears though. He was all fired up for the Bears. Dude was shocked he lost. He couldn't believe it. His fandom is, I'm a Bears fan, but you don't bet this. So now I got an extra juice to go along with my meal. Then I met the dude was the #1 checker player. And this dude had a 5 tattooed on his cheek. A big number 5. I said, oh man, he was like, who you know up in here? I'm like, shoot, nobody, dog. I'm good. No problems with you. With the 5 on your face. No way. And then I'm sitting up there, the dude who was on the checkerboards, like, he beat this guy in checkers. He was, yeah, come on up, another victim. Step on up. Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay, you the champion here. I'm like, okay, well, let me play you. Me and him playing, man, I smoked this dude so easy in checkers. I'm like, oh, man, you forgot to take your jump. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, man, that's a triple jump. Man, they was like, do you know what you just did? You just beat him, man. Like, I'm like, oh, man, this is a good game, man. Thanks. After I smoked him, he was sitting there in disbelief. And somebody was like, they told me later, like, dude, he's like, do you think we can't beat him? He's like, no, we throw those games. You not supposed to beat that dude? I'm like, oh, I don't know. I didn't know that. I thought we was playing a game. Like, I smoked this dude. Like, this dude had a winning streak going, and he was like an OG in there. Like, and I just humiliated the OG in a checker game. And I'm like, this dude was like, do you know what you just did? You ain't been in here 2 hours. And you shaking up the place already. You done took a juice from this dude and a bet, and you just going around. You way too active for a guy on the first day. Like, dude, you gotta make it to whatever time somebody come with your bail. He's like, dude, I don't think you finna make it at night up in it. Then it came to the last incident, the phone. For some reason, the other phone is supposed to be it's 2 phones in the cell. One phone was down, and one guy was in there for some tax problems or whatever. They got him working on the other phone. Somebody ripped the other phone out, like just ripped it out, so they couldn't even do it. So the dude was trying to fix that phone and get it working. When they turn the phones on, you can use it. And then everybody got a certain amount of time to use the phone. So I go up there, I tell him, hey, man, go ahead, call 3-way. I call my boy so he can call people on 3-way for me. I'm like, get them on 3-way. And I get to talk to everybody I need to talk to. Called my job, told them I wasn't coming in. I should have never did that. Instead of doing a no-call, no-show, whatever, I just told them I couldn't come in. I told them why I was in there. I should have never did that. I was young. Young and not knowing what in the world you're doing. So never tell your job you were in jail and you can't make it. Never say that to your job. Now, I was young. That's like first job. So it's like, wasn't a career job, but still, don't do that. He's like, I did. Yep. Because nothing is the same after that when you come back. I got out. Everybody kept calling me Tupac. Pac had just died. Like, this was like right after Pac died. About 2 months later, all this go down. So they start calling me Tupac. Yeah, you gonna be like Tupac. Yeah, Tupac now, huh? That what you trying to be, Tupac? I'm like, I'm not Tupac. I'm not Tupac. Oh yeah. So when I got to the phone, I'm on three-way, right? I used the phone, and then I'm not getting bailed out because they thought I said 9, Division 9 instead of Division 5. I said, I'm in Division 5. They said, you're not there. Where did you go? We went to Division 9. I'm not in Division 9. I'm in Division 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not 9, 5. You went to the wrong place. So I'm like, man, now I'm mad because I should have been out. I'm like, I'm still sitting in here because y'all went to the wrong division. But then I got to stop, yelling at them so they can get it right. But here I am using the phone again. I'm using the phone again. So they were like, this dude is using the phone twice. This is first date. Like, who is this dude? So they was going to take me out. They was going to take me out. That's how I felt. And they sent the young guy like, oh, I got it. Don't worry, I got him. And I saw the whole thing playing out like in front of me. Like the dude was like, well, I want to test him and see what he do. I'm like, they finna send this dude as a sacrificial lamb to see what I do. He gonna try me at night. Like, no, I got him. I'm gonna get in the cell with him. I got him. Because at the night, you had to figure out who was gonna sell with who. Some people already got their house, and they was like, man, all right, dude was like, all right, yeah, I got it. Yeah, I'm gonna be in the cell with you. I'm like, all right, cool. All right. So he took whatever bunk he want. I let him take whichever one he want. Then I got the one on top. He at the bottom. I'm like, all right, cool. I see how this is going. So sure enough, I go to the guard. Why everybody getting in their cell? And I'm like, man, you sure my name on there? I'm supposed to be out of here. And he was like, what's your name? And I gave him my name. He's like, yep, come on. I'm like, was y'all just gonna let me sit here? I would have already been bailed out. Right before they cut out everything at night. Because we was all kicking it. Then at 9 o'clock p.m., it was time to lock it down. And I was like, oh, no. Yeah, they didn't even come over with a phone check. They heard me going off on the phone about Division 9 and 5. And they was like, dude, it's cool. But they were like, some of these dudes ain't getting out. These dudes been in here for some years. I'm like, man, like, they ain't got nothing to do with me. I ain't supposed to be in here with y'all. I'm out. These. Then on my way out the place, it got even more crazy. We sitting there going out, and I'm going to get my clothes, everything, right? Change out, get my clothes, and go from there. And all of a sudden, we get this craziness. And they was like, well, what's all this craziness about? And they was like, well, the dude is a holdup. I'm like, well, what's the holdup? And the guy was like, well, he wants your shoes. I'm like, my shoes? The guy was like, man, let me get those shoes, man. I mean, you going out in the world, you know, you can get another pair. You know, let me get those. I'm like, you going out in the world, man. I'm up in here. I'm stuck. I'm here. I'm like, I don't know you, dog. I'm sorry, you know, the decisions you made got you up in here, but I don't know you, dog. I'm not finna give you my crazy eights. I don't know you. He said, nah, I would have bounced too. Yeah, the guy want my purple crazy eights. Hey, I ain't mad at him. I'm like, dog, I'm not giving you my shoes. Like, we gonna switch shoes. I'm like, dog, I'm 10 and a half. It don't matter. I'm like, matters to me. I can't fit your shoes, but you want me to, you're a 9. I'm 10 and a half. I'm not gonna wear it. I'm not switching with you anyway, but no. I was just trying to say, dude, I'm 10 and a half in shoes, you 9. What I'm gonna look like wearing some 9. You going out in the world. You can go get some more shoes. I'm like, well, that's, you know, we call having a job and not being in here. That's the key. don't go to jail then. What you want me to say, Slick? Man, they always gonna be on Diddy head, man. That's the nature of it because that's how they make money. That's how they make their money. No, I never thought I would be here for such a situation. Oh hell no. They set Diddy up. Diddy's protecting himself. The guards will see that. They'll know what the situation is. It'll get reported the right way. Diddy was not the aggressor. Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, that's a no-brainer. Right. Diddy fighting in prison. Like his team didn't even want to talk about it. I mean, what's more entertaining in that situation? Or much more believable in that situation? Oh, they would love for Diddy to get beat up in prison. Yeah, he went to prison of appeals 7 months ago. TMZ, all these people are culpable, and bringing all this false news about Diddy and trying to salaciously attack him. It's terrible. Yeah, well, no, man, they would never. Oh yeah, I ended up winning my case. I didn't. I had 4 felonies I was facing. Beat them all. Most of them will never be released from a penitentiary in history. Like a lot of it says that the lockup was unfair, which is true. Diddy should be at home and not behind bars. But black people are not going to stand up for Diddy because most of them are spineless. It's all about what you can make yourself appear to look like. That's what's going to matter in the end to these people. So, on that note, we're going to shut it down saying free Diddy, man. Hang in there, Diddy. You can do this sentence, man. You can do this. You can get back to being Diddy. You got this, man. So, anyway, I'm out. Be blessed.